3, 2, 1. Wacca Doodle.
Wacca Duudle.
That sucked. Doodle Wacca. Fuck! I mean, Wacca Doodle. Welcome back, everyone. OscDaBoss, Oscar, Anthony's playing the game. Noise plans. Let's go.
Let's go.
So last time we were talking about film. Okay. Last time it was memes, but we were kind of transitioning to film. I thought this is a place where we can talk about film. Or just, I think, when you say film, I mean, I'm kind of doing a degree in it, so it will definitely be like an aspect of like. That does get a bit annoying after it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, I like how they change the tune of it sometimes, so it's not as repetitive.
Yeah, it does change sometimes.
Yeah. I like the. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. What's it called? Film history. Yeah. I was talking to Sam about this, and you know, I don't know how much she got, but I hope he was listening. But basically, you said your perception is skewed, right? Before, right?
Yes.
Exactly. 100%. Because people are talking about how film is dead. It's like, you know, like fucking like all this like bullshit is coming out. It's like, no, it's not. You know how much bullshit has been coming out in history, right? Because there has been bullshit, right? Just like this disposable crap. Because like people have discovered a while ago that this shit makes money, all right? That like disposable like.
This isn't a new thing. This is
make it for the sake of making it. Like yeah, it's fucking like making it for the sake of making it type shit. Like fucking yeah. But the difference is you don't hear about that shit. Right, you only hear about the fucking masterpieces that came out during that time, hence why your perception is skewed. But nah, it's just been going on for a while. It's like, honestly, multiple like film movements and film periods have started purely due to the fact that like people were tired of how shit the films were. Like the fucking the Italian neorealism, the fucking French New Wave, that shit started. But to be fair, Italian neorealism, that was because you know fascism and. Yeah. I can talk about those too if you want. Basically, so Italy is under Mussolini's rule, right?
Yeah.
And like, to be fair, like, I know fascism is horrible. It's fucking just despicable. But I'll give credit where credit is due. Unlike Hitler, Mussolini did not completely censor all like media forever. Just like. Only propaganda, nothing but brainwashing. Like Mussolini respected the fact that film was like a cultural cornerstone.
I guess that's...
don't get me wrong.
There's gonna be fucking people that are gonna skew that, but like
now don't get me wrong, right? I'm not trying to defend it, please. He fucking says the shit, but like nowhere near to the degree that Hitler did. Right, I said, but you can't fucking basically. You're not allowed to like talk shit about Italy. That's pretty much like you know all that kind of shit. But like also like he like built like a film school. He built like a fucking film studio and all that shit where like people worked. Of course, that shit went defunct once fascism fell and shit. But like, you know, you get the point. Like
you know, somewhat respected the craft.
Yeah, and the fact of those early roots is that there were filmmakers. Good filmmakers in Italy at the time that were and now that fascism had left, fucking all bets were off. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted, and they were basically sick of portraying Italy as like this because it wasn't, especially post-war. It was fucking horrible, and that when you watch these films, I don't know if it's like a sense of resentment, but like there is a sense of like great suffering of like you know. It's really because like basically the neorealist style is basically like you know neorealist is basically like new real, that it's basically like you know shoot on location instead of in a studio, which I know you're thinking okay, but that was kind of revolutionary at the time and arguably is kind of till today. I mean, fucking everything's in a fucking green screen. It's actually fucking horrible, but. Yeah. Yeah, and you're using like non-professional actors, like dudes that who just fucking like you just found on the street because like, and they're playing the parts that they are literally like their real selves, you know?
That's I guess it's...
Yeah, this was done honestly largely out of both out of like a fact of necessity because like you know they really, they really couldn't afford that. The economy was shit, everything was shit. But also, they wanted to be authentic, right? They wanted to be fucking real,
Of course.
right? And it just the stories they tell would be like focused incredibly on realism, but like as a result, they'd it would be rather cynical in nature, actually, and most of the endings were quite bad because, as quote, that's real life, and it's just like, yeah, but no, and I will concede, like, as revolutionary as it was, like, there are bits I don't agree with, and thankfully, like, turns out I'm not the only one who thought that, like, because film largely back in the day was for escapism, right? And people, yeah, and believe it or not, people in Italy didn't want to watch a hyper-realistic depiction of like a broken down post-war country. Because they were living in a hyper-realistic, broken down post-war country.
Too real for them.
Well, no, it's just they don't want to see that shit. Like, it's just fucking like, okay, we get. It's in hindsight now, it's so interesting to see that. It's basically like a fucking time capsule. Like, shit was like that back in the day. Like, when they show, like, kids fucking begging on the streets and just, like, people brushing them away. Like, that shit happened. Like, at least, I know, like, you get shit like, in some other less developed countries that have, like fucking here, for example, in England, like, could you imagine, like, there was a homeless kid on the street? Like, fucking people would take that in, to the authorities. Like, it's not, we're better now. We're much better now, and that's the thing. That's why it kind of had it out, because search for realism, even if it's quite cynical, it's like it was, of course we could get to the whole boring thing of like the the whole, actor, the use of non-actors is like would prefer actors, but it's like, it's just ultimately people, shit got better in Italy. Shit got better, and just, with that, with neorealism essentially being a product of that resentment, that suffering, it just, wasn't really needed. But it's still, as much as there's some things I don't agree with, it's still fucking seriously influential for I'm sorry I'm hogging the episode so much. You can talk about the history of economics.
No, but the thing about like neorealism or something, that actually applies to quite like a lot of films I watched nowadays. I watched before, like they do. Actually, the film I consider like objectively the best film I ever watched actually is quite based on neorealism.
What is it?
Requiem of a Dream.
Requiem of a Dream.
That's basically like people would definitely consider like oh shit.
Remind me what that is. Sorry,
It's basically it's a like.
I'm probably gonna get shot for not knowing that.
It's basically
Requiem for a Dream.
I usually forget what it's called with that kind of
psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's basically about drugs, drug use and abuse and stuff.
Jared Leto's in it. Michael Morbius is in your face. I'm joking. Yeah, no, but it's like this pursuit of like absolute reality.
That's But the thing is, for that one, it's not like using sort of like, it's more like a wake up call, that sort of film, because it basically people always consider that the most realistic depiction of drug abuse ever created.
Oh, alright.
And it's like a film that you can only watch once.
I'll definitely check it out.
It's
a film you can only watch once.
Because it's also pretty scary too. Like, not like in terms of horror, but like in terms of how real it is.
Now, honestly, the mark of a good film is that you need to watch it multiple times to get it. That's my opinion.
I'm saying.
Not that it's bad unless you haven't watched it multiple times, but like, as you keep watching it, only gets better,
Oh, of course, I know, but
yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, I like how we're talking about this, but then they just have this stupid.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing as well, because like it wasn't, because like they couldn't talk shit about Italy. They could talk. They wanted to talk shit about like the fucking, because like Hollywood at the time, that was that shit, right? That was like the fucking disposable fucking rom-coms, fucking like, no, this film is not saying anything. This film is not telling us anything. That's the thing. what is the film? That's what art does. It tells us. It speaks to people. That's what. I'm so fucking pretentious. I can't. No.
But
no, I can fucking like art. Fuck you.
also,
And yet, no, you're just sick of it. Yeah.
and people act like, oh, everything is the same nowadays and stuff. That may have some sort of validity now, but also that's kind of the same as well. Because, like with say like a TV in the 1980s, every single like primetime American show was a family comedy.
Yeah.
Until like until the Simpsons around that time started to like change
the
it up.
Simpsons basically fucking changed it to the point where now that's considered the norm.
Yeah, because now you have like Bob's Burgers. Oh no, Bob's Burgers is actually good, but like American Dad, Family Guy, and all that.
Yeah. I mean, Family Guy. Remember when you liked Family Guy?
Family Guy.
Yeah. Now it's this perception of like, you know. Okay, a bit off topic, but actually that may be a whole video. But like, fucking, is the world getting more stupid?
Well,
right. I would argue no.
Because now people have a platform to say it. Just like show how stupid they
Yeah.
are.
Because like the Twitter, right?
Yes.
You get these fucking witch hunts on people, right?
But
witch hunts, the word is based off actual witch hunts. When
yes, back in the 1600s.
Actually fucking kill. Yes, you see, my argument with that is stupid people have always existed. They've permeated humanity in its entire history, and as a result, it's pushed, you know, more sensible people to, you know, strive to be a bit more smarter.
And the reason why people think like, oh, everyone's smart now, is because the stupid people basically were living in the fucking gutter, and they were.
Jesus, right?
But
yeah. Can we bring it back to film, because I want to talk about the French New Year, which is my favorite, which is the much more cooler movement.
Fuck you, but yeah, sure.
No. Do you want to talk about anything more about stupid people that I also brought up or whatever? No?
I'm just saying like that's the reason why we think that stupid people is more prominent. It's just because they have a much bigger platform now, and everyone can see the shit
That is true. They have a much bigger platform. Yeah. Honestly, but stupid people have always been stupid. It's not, you know, that's not going to change.
Yeah, of course.
People have always been smart. People have always been intelligent. People, yeah, it's a balance. You know, the thing about stupid people is they're more vocal, right? And it makes it seem like, you know, the idiots, the morons in this world outnumber us. They don't, right?
Of course not.
It's just the vocal. That's the thing. It's always the vocal minority. It's vocal, right? It tricks you into thinking that's the most, but it's not. Right? Because we could get into a whole argument about Twitter, which will most likely be, or just like the fucking internet culture, cancel culture, which that's gonna be a fucking 3-part episode, honestly, because I have a lot to say about cancel culture and shit like that, just perceptions and shit. But can I talk about the French New Wave, because I want to gush about it.
Sure.
It's dope as fuck. Okay, so fucking, it is a combination of, okay, basically these critics, these film critics in France were just like, nah, this shit is bullshit, man. Like one of the critics fucking like denounced a fucking film so hard he was banned from the Cannes Film Festival. Right? Then he made a film that won in the Cannes Film Festival. Like fucking Chad.
What?
Like,
fucking yeah. You say shit, but then he backs up for what he's saying. He knows what he's saying.
Like these critics, like they were just sick of these fucking dog shit films. So they thought, hey, why don't we make films? And it's like, oh, okay. Wait, we kind of need, like, you know, money for that. Like, no, we don't. Look, we could go outside, we could get some actors off the street, it's all good. And that's what they did. So similar to Italian neorealism, except neorealism had a focus on reality, right? The French New Wave were like, nah, fuck that shit. You know the concept of jump cutting? You know what jump cutting is?
Yeah.
You know, like, it just cuts to another scene?
Yeah, I know that.
Right? That was them. They introduced that.
Oh shit! Oh really?
Yeah, and you think
when
like,
was that? Like what time period?
Like 1950s to 60s.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it's relatively that time. Yeah. Oh, that's a big guy, I should say.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, honestly, I could list off like the fucking shit that they introduced, like fucking They didn't introduce 4 breaks, but they definitely made it more thing.
Oh.
They definitely made it big. And like fucking like it's just fucking cool editing. Like how like Edgar Wright.
Yeah, he's
Like
the
that
master
shit-
of editing.
That shit is like fucking like that is what the new wave was pretty much. Just like fucking like you watch a new wave film because like you know how you watch a like an old film and just think this is a bit slow, right? Not with new wave films. Because that shit they've got pacing down, right? Because you'll think this is funny, but the basic concept of not having something in a film if it doesn't add anything interesting, that was them. Right, these guys did so much, and it's just that they're just so dope, and it's such a cool and creative time. And it's just it's just artists being artists, man, innovating, fucking doing crazy shit.
And you know what?
Dope.
And
Oh shit!
yes.
Strawberry Man.
Oh,
Oh shit! What's going on? Run! Oh.
I got a bit distracted somehow.
Yeah, you got stuck. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But you know,
And you know, both those movements. Sorry, we're gonna say something.
you know, with innovation, what drives it is always criticism of stuff. And now, when you try to, I always see when you try to criticize something, everyone has to use that same bloody excuse. Oh, like you could do any better, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like. Well, that's a whole other thing. It's like you know, like you could do any like. I go to a restaurant, I eat the food, it's shit. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a fucking cook, but if the food's shit, the food's shit, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there is an aspect of like you could do better. The whole thing of just don't be obnoxious.
Yeah, not obnoxious, but
criticize shit.
No, not like being obnoxious, but like saying, I don't know, I think this is kind of lacking in something. But like saying something like that, it's anyway. You're just gonna get people that try and
Yo, fuck his ass! Yeah, ride that shit.
Oh.
That's up to you now.
Is the boss.
I think the really inspiring thing about both those movies is that essentially it proves that you don't need like a big studio or like crazy actors like to be in the Hollywood. Like, yeah, you just need a camera
And
That's
good
what you need.
writing.
And good writing. But like, if you want to make a film, you can make a film. And I believe, Zavattini, so I think it was Cesare Zavattini. I don't know. If it's,
What? Oh.
Yeah, Cesare Zavattini. Yeah, he's a guy. He was a fucking. He was a screenwriter who worked with another guy called De Sica, and they produced fucking bangs, including Bicycle Thieves. Now, okay, Italian neorealism, Bicycle Thieves, like that is the quintessential film. Like if you want one film that summarizes Italian neorealism, watch Bicycle Thieves. I kind of fucking hated the ending, but then I watched it again. I'm like, holy shit, this is really fucking good. Like it's like insanely smart for a film that was like fucking 1948. I did a paper on it. Can you tell? Well, like he basically said like fucking like when cameras are like sixpence and when like the problem with cinema now is that fucking like it's too exclusive. But when cameras are a sixpence, anyone can make a film and artists will be everywhere. And he basically predicted it because I mean the phone cameras today, like that shit. Oh, you made him arc. He tested his gag reel. No, sorry. Yeah, like I mean, the cameras we have today. I mean, the picture's good. Like filmmakers are everywhere, and that's the sand flowy from Undertale.
Shut up.
Like, yeah, and it's the whole thing of like, it's inspiring as well because of the whole thing of like, because the film industry, film is like, the films, that, and like the video. So we could talk about the video game industry also in another episode. But the whole thing is like, if enough people are getting pissed off, there's going to be a whole new generation of people that are going to make the coolest shit ever.
Of course.
That's a new movement, right? Because like we've seen it happen before, and it's just, it's honestly been really cool learning about film history. I'll be frank with you. I didn't think it'd be that crazy, but yeah, it's been dope. I'm really sorry, dear viewers. I've been hogging. To be fair. Hogging the episode whilst denying you of Anthony's sweet dulcet tones. I'm sure in the next episode we'd love to hear the history of economics. I'm sure that's very... I know this is kind of a long shot, but is there anything interesting you learn from economics, or? I mean, actually, yeah, because like human
See, mainly more about human psychology and everything.
Yeah. So that was like the first big boss, right?
Yes, you have to complete 3 other big bosses to access the final area, the clouds.
Oh, alrighty. Adios, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye.